like to share a secret with you. I have never liked football. I find football to be repetitive, way too overly aggressive, and just an overall not a very good thing to encourage young people to do. I might have a different opinion about it if it wasn't so incredibly macho, testosterone-driven, and so, well, inhumane. Now, please understand, that is not to say that I think any less of people who do enjoy football. There is a great deal of value that can be found in a home team, or a home field, or just the game itself. I am aware that there are some parts of the country that thrive on football, both spiritually and economically. And it is not my intention to insult or degrade anyone of that particular situation. I just personally don't have a fond value for football, or for that matter, the NFL in general. Like any other major corporation, the NFL is just loaded with greedy scumbags who don't care about people and only care about profits, regardless of where they come from. So as you can imagine, I freaking love this movie. And yes, the main reason I like this movie is that it's about one guy tackling the massive corporation, which is always a good story to tell in my opinion. And given that the big corporation he's tackling happens to be the NFL, is a bit of a plus for me. But make no mistake, that is not the only reason that I find this movie to be good. This is a genuinely well done movie, and is arguably one of Will Smith's best performances yet. The film chronicles the events of one Dr. Bennett Umalu, played by Will Smith, a pathologist who discovers a particularly devastating brain disorder, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE. For those of you who don't know, it's a condition in the brain caused by repetitive concussions and other such brain trauma that basically causes the brain to turn against itself. Anyway, after making this discovery and publishing it in a medical journal, the NFL panics and starts to try and tear Dr. Umalu down in any way possible, mainly because the NFL simply didn't care. They were saying things like Dr. Umalu hates football, wants to shut down the NFL, or break down America's favorite sport, and so on. When really, all the guy was doing was saying, hey, guys, your players are suffering and this is why. You need to do something about it. Now, the irrelevant, interesting, and somewhat controversial subject matter aside, as a film, it is still very well done. Will Smith's performance is utterly amazing. There is never a moment on screen where you see Will Smith. You see his character. Which is really an amazing feat considering how Will Smith started out as one of those movie stars who was really on screen for his looks and kind of had his own thing. Will Smith is one of those Hollywood stars who has actually made an effort to become an artist, and I salute him for his work. What I like best about this movie is actually its screenplay. It is mostly dialogue driven, and it's sort of just a reenactment of the main events that happen, but the nice part is that the screenplay still manages to be fluid. It doesn't spend too much time explaining things, and doesn't spend too much time on things that don't ultimately matter to the story. It tells you what it's about, it tells you what's happening, and it moves on. Also, it actually spends more time developing the characters and progressing the story than it does explaining away the science. Not that I don't appreciate scientific explanation, it's just that most of the time you don't go to a movie to see just that. Regardless of how you feel about football or the NFL, this is a very important movie to see. Not just for the subject matter, but for everything else about it. This film is highly recommended, if only for Will Smith's awesome performance. Ladies and gentlemen, I am TheNorm. Thanks for watching, have a happy new year, and be sure to tune in next time for my worst and best of 2015.